Aljamain Sterling shared a story of the time Floyd Mayweather tried to steal his girlfriend back in 2016 at a Palms pool party in Las Vegas. Mayweather first started pointing up at her from his cabana section. Floyd then sent his friends to invite Aljo and his girlfriend over. Aljo rejected them once and Floyd invited them again. Aljo said he was ready to throw down with Floyd on the spot if he continued to insist. Aljo took it as an indirect way to try and pick her up. Aljo denied the invite and challenged Floyd to a fight instead. Aljo told the Spinning Back Fist podcast it was Mayweather. He sent over his minions to try to pick her up. This was back in like 2016 I think, but I was still undefeated at the time. He sent over a guy first who said we can both come down, and I was like, man, I'm not stupid. If I come over there, you guys are going to try and take her up and try to push me back. Then when I feel some type of way, I'll have to create a scene because you're not going to punk me like that. He left and came back with a girl who said, yeah, you can both come down. I was like, listen, I know how the scene of this movie goes. You can tell Floyd he is undefeated in boxing, and I am undefeated in MMA. If we want to figure out what is the better sport, we could fight it out today. I don't think they went and actually told him that. But listen, I am a big fan, but you aren't about to have me looking stupid out here because I'll fight your ass. Marvin Vettori jumped on IG Live and gave us the options he has for potential opponents at middleweight since his fight versus Robert Whittaker was cancelled. He named Khamzat, Darren Till, and took a shot at Luke Rockhold and Paulo Costa. Check it out.
Now, what are the options? There are not many options because a lot of guys are iffy out here. Very iffy, like I cannot trust them to show up, you know? I cannot trust this guy to show up, so that's a really hard problem. You know, I'm not gonna lie, and again, this is another guy I really don't dislike. I actually kind of like the guy in a sense and how he carry himself and stuff, and that's Khamzat. I really like, you know, I like, you know, like it's one of those guys that when they were hyping him up, I'm like, it's okay, you know, like this guy, I like the hype around him, and I know he's a real guy, and I mean, he might have been a little bit too high on himself, but that's part of the game, and kind of like him. So, but that's a fight I would love. Because it would bring the best out of me. So that's a fight that I would like, but he's at 170 for now. But I do want that fight. You know, if he wants to step up and he's like, hey, I want to punch that Italian face. I'm here, right here for you. I'm right here for you, and I can't wait nothing else but to fight you. So, Khamzat, if you want this fight, let's make it happen. I can't wait for it. Darren Till, very iffy. I don't know if this guy's ever gonna, if he's ever gonna come back. I don't even know. He's been a very awful coach for the moment. I saw him holding pads. It looked horrible, but I guess he's a moral support, moral support for Khamzat, and you know, they're being buddies, and it's funny to see it, and it's all good. But you know, that's also a fight, but. That's also a fight that I would like, you know, down the line. I mean, Darren Till, you know, he owes me a fight. So if he's ready to go, then let's make that happen. I'm willing to do it. Then there's this other fucking crazy fucking guy that is trying to get a fight now, but he can just off because you did me dirty and I fucked you up, and that's over, buddy. That's over. Get somebody else in between. Let's see. Claim your spot. You're behind me. I fucked you up. And I'm talking about Paulo Costa. It makes not fucking bit of sense for me to fight this motherfucker. This is 0 cents for me. 0. Plus, I fucked him up with over 20 plus pounds over, bro. Like, fuck this dude. Fuck this dude. I got your money. I got the win. Get the fuck away from me, you know? It's over. So, those are kind of the option. Who else is there? I kind of talked about, I saw some other dude coming out saying, oh, I turned out a fight. First of all, he's never even been offered to me. Third, I'm like, yeah, you know, my manager said, yeah, I didn't even offer you that fight because it's like, this guy is like so far behind, and it's like he wants to fight in Abu Dhabi in October. I'm like, why the fuck do I have to, like, it's like paint everything and you know, paint everything and do everything possible for an ugly girl. Like, fly her over, pay everything, and she's actually ugly. Why are you doing that? Like why do I have to do this extra effort for like something that do not make sense? Those are kind of the option, and I'm stuck a little bit. I'm kind of like in a weird position right now. But I mean, oh, this is a funny story. Another dude that I don't even know if it makes some kind of sense, because I mean, it's not even relevant. It's not even like, I don't even think he's like training properly anymore. It's Rockhold. But if he's willing to fight, I'm definitely willing to fight that dude. I saw him at the gym a while ago, and at Churchill boxing club. I just finished training, and I'm like, pretty tired, and I saw him coming in fresh, and I'm like, hey Luke, let's spar. Come on man, let's spar. And he's like, nah bro, no, we can, but later on, now I'm tired, I'm just getting back into it. And I said, wasn't I a sexy fight for you? Because back in the days, I guess a while ago, he did a video where like, oh, like, you know how he talks. This guy's like, he's a douche, like the way he talks. Like, he's like, oh yeah, there's a couple fights, and Marvin, like, I feel like he's a sexy fight for me, so I kind of won that fight. And then I was like, wasn't I a sexy fight? Let's spar. Come on, man, let's spar. And he's like, nah, not now. I'm like, yeah, whatever, bro. What the fuck ever, then. Just shut the fuck up, then. But I mean, you know, if he wants to step up, let's do it. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it about the option.
Joe Rogan was on Mike Tyson's podcast and had some words of advice for Conor McGregor before deciding to make a comeback, especially at welterweight. He felt he needed a tune-up fight, and maybe going straight up against welterweight champ Kamaru Usman wasn't such a good idea. Joe said, if Conor wants the most chance of success, I would say fight a guy who is a little below championship level. Maybe a guy on the come-up, who Conor has an advantage over, but it's still a competitive fight. Give him a test, but don't put him in there right away with Usman. I think honestly, when boxers come back from a long layoff and they come back from a loss, one thing that boxers do that's smart is they have a tune-up fight. I think there's a reason why they've been using tune-up fights forever, like astute managers. They know you've got to knock the dust off and you'll be better in the next performance. To jump right into a Dustin Poirier or Michael Chandler, like right into a guy who's the elite of the elite. I think what Conor needs to do is what Conor wants to do. If Conor thinks he can go up and fight Usman and make a big payday, try to become a 3-division champion, he should do that. He should do whatever he wants to do. But if I was like a manager to him and I said what's the best path to success, the best path to success is like the Cowboy fight. No disrespect to Cowboy, but that fight turned out to be kind of like a warm-up fight. And finally, Michael Bisping shared his opinion on just how good Charles Oliveira really is. Bisping felt that Oliveira was tough as nails, completely reinvented himself, and built up a record for the most submission wins ever and fight bonuses in the history of the company. But somehow fans haven't given him much recognition. Bisping said, sometimes people don't appreciate the talent that's right before them. Listen, maybe that's because Khabib Nurmagomedov in a lot of people's eyes is still classed as a champ. He retired on top, so some people might still think that, but they need to get over that. They need to get a grip. The numbers don't lie, and when you look at the numbers, Charles has had 20 wins in the UFC. 18 of them have come by way of stoppage. That is a 90% finish rate, which is absolutely phenomenal. Need more? The man has the most post-fight bonuses in the history of the company as well, coming in at 18. 12 performance of the night bonuses, 3 submissions of the night, and 3 fights of the night. The stats don't lie. He's one of the most exciting ever, and one of the best ever. As always guys, if you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button for me. If you're new, subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date. Thanks for watching.